Hello and welcome to a look at Mr. HELI for the Amiga. Conversion of an Irem Corporation arcade original was released by Firebird. The plot behind this particular title is that there is a glowing green planet which is lush and beautiful and all that kind of stuff, but unfortunately it has been visited by an entity only known as the Muddy, who is quite busy trying to turn the green planet into a not so green planet. And of course that is incredibly naughty and rather unpleasant. So you, as member of the Cosmic HELI Patrol, has been sent out to try to stop whatever the Muddy is doing. In order to do such, you have to enter the planet and fight off various of the Muddy's minions and eventually face off against various different guardians in order to eventually face off against the evil and dispose of it, him, whatever it might be. Since the title is called Mr. HELI, you can likely imagine that you are navigating a helicopter kind of entity, which just happens to be the case. Your helicopter entity thing comes equipped with a gun, and some missiles, and some bombs that can be used to dispose of the enemies that appears on screen. But there are also some blocks that you can destroy using a set of weapons, which will reveal crystals and sometimes shop items. The crystals, when picked up, will give a various amount of credits. The small crystals will give 20 and the large crystals will give 100 credit things. And then when you see an item that you want, you can fly over it, and assuming you have enough money, you will buy said item. You can get an extra shot for your main gun, you can get an extra missile for your missile launcher, and an extra bomb that you can drop when releasing the bombs. Besides that, you can also get things like shields and homing missiles, and the all-important refuel tank, which is basically a repair mechanic, because your health is rated by remaining fuel. The shop mechanic is an interesting little thing, but it is also a bit boring, because once you have obtained one upgrade for each of your weapon types, you will see a sold out sign every single time you get past such items, and only consumables like the energy restore and shields is something that you can continuously purchase, because of course they are not lasting indefinitely. The game is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, but it is also a horizontal scrolling shoot-'em-up from time to time, and then sometimes it is a on rails scrolling shoot-'em-up, and sometimes it's a push scrolling shoot-'em-up, depending on the level and the design of whatever level you are on. The on-rail scrolling sections, of course, has to have various areas you can get trapped in, specifically if you're trying to get too greedy trying to gather crystals, and it is very easy in certain sections to get stuck, which is not so fortunate, of course, because if the screen tries to scroll past where you are stuck, you will instantly lose a life. My knowledge of the arcade original is limited to what I have read about it, so I can't make any direct references to how close the technical side of the Amiga conversion is to the arcade original, but I do find that the graphics are For a 1989 title, serviceable. Good in places and so-so in other places. The main spiders perhaps a bit too cutesy, and the different level designs could be a bit more distinct. The color choice is a bit annoying because you can find that enemy shots are hidden by background objects, which is never a good thing. But for a game of this type, and as I was saying, from 1989, I think the graphics are okay. The sound side of things, sound effects, nothing super special as such, but I think they're incredibly well suited for the game and fitting for the game, and personally I found them quite enjoyable, all things considered. The title tune and the in-game tune, if you decide to play this game with the music. Certain reviewers said it was incredibly tedious and boring and whatnot. I found it okay. I could take it or leave it. It didn't annoy me, it didn't excite me. Yeah, what can I say? Control-wise, the controls are responsive enough, but due to the way the game plays, the controls can be incredibly annoying because you have missiles, guns, and bombs, but you can only shoot the guns and missiles when you are in the air, and you can only drop the bombs when you're on the ground. And that unfortunately means that when you are on the ground, any enemies above you, you cannot hit because you need the missiles to hit them, and you can only break the blocks on the ground by being basically on the blocks and dropping bombs right on top of them. And it becomes this messy kind of thing where you, in order to get the crystals broken free from ground objects, you take excessive amounts of damage. And while this is not necessarily a control problem, I don't know whether the arcade original plays exactly the same way, but it feels incredibly restrictive and punishing that you end up taking damage because you just can't shoot back. At the foundation, this is a scrolling shoot 'em up, like so many others, and even at the time of this particular title's release, it was a game type that had been seen plenty of times. As far as I can understand, the arcade original didn't do particularly well, and I think that is potentially related to the fact that it was released after Irem's absolutely spectacular smash hit called R-Type, side-scrolling shoot 'em up that basically redefined the genre. And I think that potential gamers were expecting more of that kind of gameplay from Irem, and found themselves rather disappointed with this kind of cutesy style shoot 'em up. It feels a bit like a touch of R-Type mixed with some blood money in its gameplay, and I don't know whether I find that that combination works. I don't dislike it as much as many of the reviewers did, but at the end of the day, it's just a shoot 'em up. Thanks for watching, take care, see you next time. Bye bye for now.